Hello folks, so in this video I wanted to talk about my content, right? So why I make content and more around my content. First of all, what are the different forms of content that I make? Predominantly these days I'm making mostly just YouTube videos, but in the past I've made not just YouTube videos, I've made blog posts, say technical blog posts and also general blog posts. So technical blog posts have a different blogging platform, a different blog, and for general content live stuff I have Substack, and I even bought a domain for my technical blog. I haven't bought a domain for my live blog yet, live stuff and general stuff blog yet. I might buy like a domain for those also. And I've also written down, say, stuff like poems and whatnot, stories and whatnot, apart from just writing content about tech or life stuff. I've also done some 2-3 podcasts on Spotify, generic stuff, life stuff, not technical. The idea is to actually have all sorts of content forms with the same or similar kinds of content, just in different forms, so that anyone can actually consume it. But then I can't do it, create it, the same content and similar content in all forms, mostly because of resource constraints, like time constraints. I'll talk about that. And so those are the different forms of content that I've made before, and these days it's just YouTube videos, right? And why I make content, I actually made a separate video on this, and you can go check it out. And I think I didn't mention all of the stuff over there. Like, I just make content because it's just nice. I love it. Like, I don't know, I like putting out content out there. I want to show the hard work that I can put in, and there are multiple other reasons. Hard work is just one, to show that I can actually spend a lot of time and effort and energy, and my mind, my inquisitive mind, my creative mind, to actually create content and put it out there, and also be courageous and brave to actually put my content out there. And because in the past I've thought like, this doesn't make sense and whatnot. Anyways, these days I don't think twice before posting a video. I just post it. If I want, I can pull it down later, but I just post it for now. And I have pulled down my content before in the past. It was a knee-jerk, act. When I was not feeling great, I was in a bad place. I was like, let's just make all my videos private. Fortunately, I didn't delete them. I just made them private, and then later, recently, I made them public. The advantage of that is like people can see that I've been making videos for the last many years now. But most of my videos have come up only recently. So if I have like X number of videos, I think some 600 whatever videos as of now, a lot of them being shorts and many of them being just long form content. So all of them I think has come up only recently, and some of the long form content came up like a few years ago also. But say a decade ago, very few videos I think. Anyways, I do plan to make more and more videos. I've become very addicted to making YouTube videos now. So I think it's going to be hard to get me out of it. And I love talking. So I love talking. And unfortunately or fortunately, I don't have anyone much to talk to, or anyone who would listen to me. So anyone who is just willing to listen to me would just go to my YouTube channel, and I am there to actually talk to them through my YouTube videos, right? And so you are looking at this at your own cost, by the way. I am not forcing you to do anything for me or for anyone or for anything, right? So I love making videos. I like putting content out there. So that's one of the main reasons that I make content, and it helps me with my life also. Like, I have clarity when I talk to people, when I write down stuff, when I explain stuff, right? So this is my way of like trying to put my thoughts out of my mind to actually articulate it. It helps me with my articulation skills and communication skills and whatnot. And it's actually an opportunity for me to learn and share, which is something that I actually very firmly believe in. Learning and sharing, like I'm a learner first, and then a teacher later. Only if you learn you can teach, right? And I love to teach. I love to explain stuff. I love to explore stuff. I love to analyze stuff, research stuff. I love to think about why, what, how. There is this concept of like 5 W's, 1 H. I think it's what, why, what, where, which, when. There is even other stuff that you can say, something like who and whatnot, and then how. The H being how, and many W's, why, what, where, which, when, who, and whatnot. So I love to explore that kind of stuff, right? And understand the world, understand things around me, understand people, understand anything, any concept. Especially health intrigues me, interests me, and tech also, technology, and anything that sweeps the world, off its foot, and takes the world by like surprise, and like surprises the world and whatnot, and like is like very prominent or popular, or say it's the thing, the trendy thing. I just want to learn about it and understand it. Of course, usually the idea is to follow the trends, and then some people say make the trend and whatnot. I am just trying to analyze and research the trend. I'm not going to try to make trends and all. I don't think so. Or I'll probably try to make trends, probably in some stuff that is like not related to what people think, like not in products and services. Probably, most probably not there, at least as of now. More like trends in lifestyle, like say in health, how you choose your food and whatnot. So and how you say exercise, go for a walk, run and whatnot, and like how you choose for a healthy lifestyle and choose for a healthy life. So things like that, maybe I could help with that, and I could try to make trends there, but I don't think I'll make any trends in any other stuff like say fashion and whatnot. Nope, I am not the fashion guy, at least as of now. That's what my identity in my head is like. Karpia doesn't have any fashion sense, but I think I've been better these days. Anyways, people mock at me or laugh at me for my fashion sense, or at least used to. My mom, some of my friends, and all that. But now it's way better, I think. I am a very simple guy. That's my identity in my head, and that's what I like to follow, and I would love to follow. I don't want to actually be very complicated, at least in terms of like how I look and whatnot. How I think, I want it to be complicated and also simple. It's a very, very weird thing. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. So what else? So yeah, I make content, and I love to explore stuff, and I like to share that. And as part of the sharing, I also learn about my own thought process, how I think, what words I use, right? I also realize that I get very emotional about some stuff. I get to learn about that part of myself, especially when I talk. So when I think or when I type, there is not so much tone, especially in terms of typing, unless there are some extreme words like stupid, idiot, and whatnot. Those are like extreme terms according to me, though some may disagree. I would say I would just use a nice term like unwise. That's all. Sometimes I do end up using those terms, at least for myself, which is also a not good thing. If I can use it for myself, I might just think the same for others, about others and about other people, things, and whatnot. So I'm still learning. So I make a lot of mistakes. I talk about my mistakes also in my videos. I keep myself as open as possible. Some people have recently, I was told, when I told, I decide when I open up myself. I decide when I'm an open book, and when to open my book, versus when I don't open it. And then the other person was like, this was a old friend, and they were like, well, that's the thing about men. And I'm like, well, it's my choice to, open up or not open up, right? Like, other people, like everyone has their own preferences and their own choices. People want their own freedom, but then they don't want other people to have their freedom or opinions. I guess it's just very weird. It can look unfair, but that's how it is for other people. For them, that is unfair. When you have your own choice, that is not really satisfying them, or that is not really playing well with them. Anyways, but I am generally an open book, mostly, though it's not a great thing to be in some ways, and in some ways it's okay. I think it's fine. Someone once was telling, like, they actually start arguments intentionally, or start fights intentionally, not like in a very not like lot of rage. They don't do it with lot of rage. Instead, they do it with more fun. Apart from like very little rage, they do it for comedy and fun. They just put something controversial on LinkedIn, a platform, a social networking platform for like professionals, a platform where people have faces attached to their profiles usually. And it's not like Reddit where it's a random username, random person, anyone can say anything and get away with it. But then on LinkedIn, a lot of people put a lot of posts, and people put comments, lot of very motivating, inspiring posts or stories and whatnot. And then someone says, this story is inspiring, this is the right thing to do, this person did the right thing in this story. And then one of my colleagues would go and actually say, no, this doesn't make sense and whatnot, and would put a counterpoint, right? And then he would say, like, someone once was asking him, why would you do this, like, is it not a problem? And in general, why he would do controversial stuff, not just in, like, say, social media platforms like LinkedIn, but also at workplace in general, in real world and whatnot. He would say something like this, right? The world is it's not a small world, it's a big world, or something like that. And like, it's okay if some people are not okay with you or don't like you. It's a big world, there are so many other people who will like you, so you don't have to worry about some small set of people. That's a very great idea, right? I'll probably talk about it. Wait, let me note it down. uh, So he used to tell this even for work and stuff. Like, even if you get fired and whatnot, he says stuff like, "It's a big world. It's not a small world." Something like that. I forgot the exact phrase. There are a lot of people in the world, and there are a lot of companies and whatnot. It's fine if some set of people don't like you, or some company doesn't like you. There are so many others out there, so it's fine, right? So it's fine if some people don't like my content, or it's fine um, if my me being an open book is a problem for some people, or some people don't like it. As long as, like, not everyone hates it, I think it's fine. And even if everyone hates it, I'll talk about this other stuff in some other video about self-worth. um, I'll write it down so that I don't forget it. So this was something that my therapist taught me, and about self-worth, wherein your self-worth should not depend on anything or anyone, any external stuff. It should just depend on you. It should not depend on the money you have, on the work you have, on, say, even your health or your relationships and whatnot. It should just depend on you. Like, I think it's similar to happiness and whatnot, but as in, like, dependency wise. But self-worth is where you understand that no matter what, you're worthy. You're worthy of being loved. You're worthy of love, basically. You're worthy of being loved. You're worthy of being in love. You're worthy of happiness. That is, you're worthy of being happy. And you're worthy of feeling like you belong. So these three things. And self-worth is something that is there, right? Everyone is worthy. It's just that they need to realize it. It's there. They just need to realize it. right? It's not like it's not there and they have to build it, form it, create it, and all that. No, it's there. They have to realize it. And how do you realize it? There are different ways. I'm still learning. I don't know much. But even if people don't like me, don't or hate me and whatnot, I'll ensure that my self worth is great, and I'll just keep loving myself and keep moving on regardless of what people think of me or people say about me and whatnot, and regardless of what I do, what I say, what I think and whatnot. So and this means even like thinking that even the world's biggest criminals are worthy. It's just that you still have to put them in prison because they can cause harm to others, and other people are also worthy. The criminals are also worthy, other people are also worthy. You just keep them separate so that they can just live their own lives. So put the criminals in jail or whatever, and so that they can somehow live a happy life, loving life, and a life where they feel like they belong, while the other people are also happy and like are in a loving life and in a life where they feel like they belong, um, and can live in harmony, right? So but yeah, anyone and everyone is worthy. So if I'm an open book and that's causing problems for other people and like it's causing problems for me, ideally I think I'll be able to move on, and whatnot. And like talking about problems and whatnot and content. So whenever you put content out there in the public, people are going to see and whatnot. I didn't even think that people would see my content. I was like, this is big content, long content, no one would see it and whatnot, and I really don't have the time to edit. I'll talk about that, and or prepare and whatnot. If you look at a lot of my videos, there will be a lot of repetition in my videos. It's so much repetition that you'll be like, why the hell is this guy saying the same thing again and 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 again, like again and again and again. And that is true. Like even I have thought about it. Karpe, you just said this, like, or did you not say this? I don't know. I forgot. But let's just enjoy that I've said it once, and I keep doing that like every few minutes or something. Especially in long form content. Let's say 30 minutes content. Probably every fourth, fifth minute, I'm probably saying the same thing, right? Probably I've said the same thing like 6 to 10 times in that 30 minutes video or 20 minutes video, whatever, right? And or I'm just like thinking too much and whatnot, trying to say the same thing in different ways, different formats and whatnot, different ideologies, analogies and whatnot, different perspectives and whatnot. Anyways, with different examples, but examples help to remember stuff, anecdotes help. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, people do see some of the content because I'm seeing people comment on my content, right? So generally, comments on my content is held for all. As in, like when I say that, comments are held, as in like it's held for review. It's not like comments are disabled. I'm wondering if I should disable. I don't know. But as of now, comments are enabled, but people can comment, but it won't show up immediately because it's held for review. And if I don't review it within 60 days, I think it will be deleted or whatever, something like that. So does it help? Comments, do they help? Well, feedback does help, that is true. But the thing is, do I have the time? Like, do I even have the time to make videos? No, recently I've not been having time to even make videos, right? And now do I have the time to read the comments on videos? No, I mean, like, I doubt it. I would rather spend time creating content than reading comments. But then, of course, comments will help me take feedback, understand how I can improve my content. Am I focusing on that? Am I focusing on improving the content, optimizing the content, and whatnot? Not exactly. I'm just trying to put out content for now, consistently, and whatever I can think of, whatever I think, whatever I analyze, and whatnot, and whatever I find interesting, I like to put it out there. So that is the goal. The goal is not to optimize and whatnot. As of now at least, but thanks for all the comments and feedback that people put out there. I was surprised when YouTube Studios showed me that I have a lot of comments and a lot of views and whatnot and some likes and whatnot. I was like, who is watching my content? Because it's so long form content, so random sometimes, so It's like so like very disconnected, but lot of different ideas connected here and there and whatnot. And sometimes people will find it hard to understand my content. I'll talk about that. um, then so I was reading the comments today, and I reviewed them, and I just published almost all of them except one of them. I should have published that one also. One of the comments literally said, why do you, I forgot the exact comment, but basically at the end it said useless or workless fellow. Yeah, basically jobless fellow or workless. I don't know why they said workless. Like they could have said jobless, but I don't know why they said workless. It's a very interesting term. I've not heard of it before. I don't know if it's a real term, but I'm guessing not. But anyways, they said workless fellow, and something like that, useless video, something. It was about a food review. I think it was a oily food review for a Zomato or some Eat Club food review, right? Some short or some video, something. And yeah, I can understand. Like, I just put some random videos that can feel like it's just useless. Like, it cannot really give you much. What do you say? Value. But then value is very subjective, right? It's just that I'm just trying to express my thoughts and opinions and suggestions and advice and whatnot. But of course, it doesn't mean that it will provide you value. A lot of times, people could just simply say that Karpya is just useless. Why do you have to listen to what he has to say and whatnot? And I think that's something what he said, that in that comment, something like this guy is like just putting something random and whatnot, something like that, right? I can't remember. I think now I'm just self-criticizing myself, right? So he put that, and I think I got defensive or something. I should have actually said thanks for the feedback and comment, and been indifferent, and just accepted what he had to say and just put the comment out there. But I think I reported it as spam or something. I forgot what I did, and got rid of the comment. So there was just one comment like this, and then one of the comments said, in Tamil it said "Yenada solavara," meaning what are you trying to say? This was about the video on beverages and smoking, right? I was basically trying to say that this is becoming a trend, but I think, or I was just trying to tell my observation that chai, tea, and whatnot is coupled with smoking and whatnot, and coffee and whatnot is coupled with smoking, and smokers are encouraged to drink tea or coffee and smoke and whatnot, or they're given that idea apart from similar to like drinking tea or coffee with biscuits or cookies and all that. So I don't know if I communicated that very well in that video. I don't know what I was telling in that video. I don't have the time to even look at my own videos again. Okay, like if I make even a 2-minute video, I wouldn't look at that again unless and until I think like, was this audio clear, because there was a lot of noise in the background, because let's say I was walking in the traffic and whatnot. Unless and until I feel stuff like that, I will never look at the video. I've made hours of content, okay? If I start looking at every other video, I won't have time to do anything else. My job is something else. My dad tells me, dude, are you trying to actually make income out of YouTube, right? Because you already have an income source. And I'm like, no, dad, I'm not trying to make income out of YouTube, because that's just, I think I would call it stupid in my case, because it requires a lot of effort, time, energy, and it requires different kinds of brain and analysis and research. Like basically then I'll have to start looking at the demand, what do people like, look at the feedback, look at the comments, and understand what do people like, what do people watch on YouTube especially, and then start making content on that and whatnot, right? What is the trend, talk about the trend and whatnot. But that's not my goal. My goal is to talk about what I like, what I know and whatnot. Though trends will also be great, but if I am interested in that trend, first of all I have to discover that trend. I'm not active on social media or the news in general itself, which is not a great thing according to me. But I don't have the time for it, unfortunately, to even follow stuff like the news, the politics, especially, right, in India or in the world and all that, which is really important. Or even to follow the weather, to plan my day, let's say, to go out and whatnot. Recently, I've been following the weather, but I don't follow trends generally, so I don't have the time for that, unfortunately. What do I have time for? To sleep, eat, work, and say make YouTube videos as of now, and sometimes socialize with people and then talk to my family. And yeah, I'm not even going to Chennai much, spending time with my family. I'm gonna try to carve out some time for that, and plan time. My time management skills are bad, and time is constrained. Like everyone is low on time, though you can use money to buy time. As in, like, let's say I can't cook, I can just order food by using money. Of course, I need to spend time, effort, energy to earn money, but I could spend less time and earn lots of money also if I'm pretty smart and all that, right? But then I still have only so much time in my life, so I have to decide, and I get to decide what I do with my life. It's my life. I get to decide how do I spend it, on who I spend it, on what I spend it, and whatnot. How I spend my time, who I interact with, what I do. Let's say what I interact with, say social media and whatnot, books and whatnot, which books and whatnot, right? With social media and whatnot. So I don't have the time to look at my own content. I don't have time to actually review my content and all. I think I don't even have time to review the comments. I didn't even know people are putting comments until today morning. Like, I knew there were a few comments, like 1 or 2 comments long ago, but today I saw some like 5 to 10 comments something. It's like, wow, okay, some people are looking even at the long videos, right? And some of them said, so I don't think I'll have the time to read even 5 to 10 comments, but I can try. Let's see. But what is the point, right? Maybe I can just feel good that people are seeing my content, probably just for my own ego or for my own motivation, but I don't want to depend on that motivation really. If no one comments, I would still be putting videos, and I would still want to put videos and be consistent, and just be happy that I'm being consistent and hardworking, and I'll also show that hard work and consistency in my videos, so that if someone comes up to my YouTube videos page and sees that, okay, this guy actually does put content out there, though I could be blabbering anything, or probably I'm already blabbering a lot of stuff, whatever you seem fit or whatever you deem fit, but the reality is most of the time the content is different, and very rarely I repeat content and whatnot. But I think I might end up repeating content at the point where I saturate. I don't know when that will happen. Let's see. I keep assuming that I have a lot of content to talk about. I do. I have a lot of stuff written down in my notes, the different kinds of content. Anything and everything that I can think about, I talk about it. So people say, right, anything under the sun. It's not even under the sun. Even if it's about the space, about the universe and everything, or like anything that you can imagine, that you can think about, that I can think about especially, I'll talk about it. If I can't think about it yet, I haven't discovered it yet, it's an unknown, then it's going to take some time for me to make it known and then talk about it. So yeah, like aliens and all. Let's see. I don't have the time to actually check out comments. But comments are good in some ways, and reading them is good in some ways, but not reading them is also good in some ways, right? And what else? Someone actually mentioned in the comments saying stuff like this workless, jobless and all. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes I'm like, come on, let's make a video. That's what I do. So I'll agree with you, whoever put that up. I'm sorry that I deleted your comment. And also the problems with reading comments is, one of them is like, it takes time, it takes energy and effort also, and it can drain my energy also when I read comments that are not very great or whatever, right? Do I want to face those comments, like hate comments or spam comments? For example, one of the comments was actually a troll comment, like, but just not trolling my video, more like just a troll. It was about analogies, and then it spoke about how apologies fit well in physics and something weird. And I was like, okay, very weird, funny, very absurd. Anyways, very crazy. And the profile picture of the user who commented this was actually a troll picture, that troll face with the smiling face and whatnot, and all that. So and then some people said stuff like, Yanada Solavara, what are you trying to say, dude, and whatnot. So I don't know how they found out that I am a Tamilian. Probably I told it in one of my videos. I'm an open book. Or I keep mentioning Chennai. They probably found out from that. Or I told so many things on my videos that I hopefully don't get hacked because of my videos, because sometimes I expose too much of myself. I think I'll have to edit at times in some cases. I won't talk about it because that would make me vulnerable and give people more ideas on how to actually attack me. Though I would love to talk about it, I should probably first of all protect myself before talking about it. And so I still haven't protected myself, I think, in some cases. Anyways, so it can be like when I see comments like, what are you trying to say, dude, and whatnot, to basically convey that, dude, I don't understand you, or it can even mean something like, dude, what are you. Generally, the tone is, or at least my self-critic would think that the tone is, what are you trying to say, dude, you don't make any sense and whatnot, it's senseless and whatnot. Which can be taken in two ways. I was talking about stuff yesterday on one of my videos on how to take insults and disrespect and mockery and whatnot, and criticism and whatnot in a good way. So I can take it in a good way, but it will also affect me generally. I can take it in a good way, saying that, okay, I miscommunicated, and I told that in the reply to the comment. Clearly, I miscommunicated. I'll do better. But do I need to? Is the question. The goal is not to actually communicate clearly to all people. Though, of course, communication is a skill that I'm trying to get from this. Though not just from this, I can get it from many ways, just by talking to people also. But it does help me to just talk a lot, and that is me practicing talking a lot than just me listening a lot, which is usually my mode. I listen to people generally a lot than talk to people, because I doubt people want to listen to me. I have too much to say, and too little people or almost zero people will want to listen to me, which is why I just make YouTube videos and just talk a lot. I could just make a video and not put it out there and still talk a lot anyways, but I think some of the content is probably useful, and I find some of the ideas pretty interesting that I learned from people. I just want to share those interesting ideas that I learned from people and from experiences, my own experiences, from people, from talking to people, from being with people, from being around with people, and like working with people and all that. So yeah, but it's fine if it doesn't clearly communicate to people. I will try to keep that in mind, or maybe not, because that's then another thing to keep in mind when I'm making a video. Try to be clear, but I am already trying to do that. I usually try to do that whenever I'm talking. Try to be clear as possible. But then yeah, there is a lot of like breaks in between wherein I tell some extra stuff and then continue from somewhere else. So there is like the sequence of the content is very weird though. I talk about A, I diverge to B, and then come back to continuing to talk about A, and then I diverge to B or C or D, and then I come back talking about A and whatnot, right? So that can be pretty tricky to understand. Even for me, there is this idea in software that when you write code, so code is something that you basically write, you program and whatnot, you build software. You write something in English. Generally, that's the language that coding is done in these days. Though there are other languages apart from English, but English is the prominent one. You write something in English, and generally, it's most of the code that people write. It's what do you say? It's expected that other people who read it can understand it, right? Like, let's say I write some source code. I write some code to build a software. Say it's a website or a mobile app, and let's say I go back and see that code after 6 months or 12 months. Am I able to actually read it and understand it? A lot of cases people joke about how they can't read their own code after say a few weeks or a few months or a year or many years. They can't read it, they can't understand it, they can't even read it, or they can read it but they can't understand why they did something, or what are they even trying to do and whatnot. Similar to that, if I go and check out my own content, will I be able to understand it myself? I don't know. So if I can understand it myself, great, I would be very happy, and I think I can, at least for some weeks, some months and whatnot, if those ideas stick in my head. Because ideally I would want to actually go back and look at my videos and see about the different ideas I spoke about before, because I can't remember all the ideas, or maybe I can, maybe the human brain can remember a lot, I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. I keep believing that the human brain can only remember so much, but I guess the human brain remembers the important stuff and also the stuff that is connected to emotion. That's what I've heard, especially when there is emotion connected to your memory and thought, then it's more long living, and the longevity of the thought, the idea is going to be higher, better, and it's going to be more durable. Same stuff, longevity, long living, durable. Anyways, I like to use too many synonyms. So, so yeah, I mean, if I don't communicate very well, if you don't understand my content, I'm sorry. Do I have to even apologize? Do I need to apologize? Not really. Maybe not. But I'll be polite. I like to be polite. I love to be polite and respectful. So I'm sorry if you don't understand if you don't understand my content or what I say or how I say it and stuff like that, or if it's very confusing and whatnot, or if it's very weird, it doesn't make sense, senseless, useless, or whatever. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for wasting your time. If you think that I wasted your time, or if you think I confused you, I've been accused of confusing other people a lot. I'm trying to understand how to deal with it in general. But yeah, it's a good feedback to understand that my communication skill is not always good or great. Because it's actually a powerful skill, and if it's a power, and it's actually a great power to have when you can actually communicate to a lot of people in a very good manner, in a very clear manner, in a very precise, perfect manner that everyone can understand. If you're trying to communicate ABC and you say something for that, and everyone understands that ABC perfectly as you thought it, as you had it in your mind, then that's like the best thing, because that will help you go places, and reach heights and achieve things. So surely it's a good idea, good feedback, great feedback. Though I guess the person who gave the feedback wouldn't care. They'll be like, I don't care if you consider it great, good feedback. This is the feedback I have. But thanks for the feedback. Every feedback is great, and this is also great. Uh, so apart from that, someone said, dude, you can talk in Tamil. Yes, I think I spoke about this. I want to create content in Tamil, Hindi. These are two languages that I know and can talk in, but maybe not know all the words in it. So I might use a bit of English here and there, or find the words for them, which is going to take time. But it's going to be really hard, because I want to make the same content. Let's say if I talk about finance or say hard work, this was mentioned in hard work, I think, or no, I forgot. This was mentioned in one of the videos, saying that, oh yeah, about businesses that will thrive in the future, right? In the near future. So this guy said, or this person, I don't know if it's a guy, girl, whatever. This person said, uh, hey, can you actually make this content in Tamil, because there's a lot of English content. That is true. Ideally, I would expect platforms like YouTube to help with subtitles, and also use AI to convert audio to different languages, regardless of the time sync. Let's say I speak some sentence in, say, 1 minute, and the same sentence to tell it in a different language takes less time or more time. It's going to be hard to sync that with my lip and whatnot. It's fine if they can't lip sync. It's fine if they can't even time sync it. Like, even if they take, say, 40 seconds for that 1 minute, finish off the video, but still tell that 40-second audio, and then say that that's all, and somehow make that experience happen. Or if it's going to take more time, then take more time, say 1 minute 20 seconds and whatnot for that 1 minute video, where I say some sentence, and then that can be converted to some other language which takes 1 minute, say 20 seconds or 10 seconds to tell that same sentence in another language, which is very, very possible, right? So then, because these are some hard problems in other languages, right? So and then do it, right, instead of me having to do it. But as of now, I think that's not there. So till then, I'll have to do it. But then, do I have the time to do it? Nope. Same content in another language, I don't have the time to do it, because I don't have the time to do it, and because it will also take a lot of effort and energy. Because first of all, I have to go and look at the existing content that I made in English, because I won't actually convert all my English content into Tamil, or at least some of the content, and of course create some content only for Tamil, and probably talk about some of those in English also. because some of them are context specific, Tamil content, Tamil context specific also. So I would surely want to talk about them in Tamil. That's going to be easy, like just talk in Tamil and make a video. I still haven't done that. And same for Hindi. But then if I have done some content in English, I have to first of all look at that content, get that content, because there is no prep and all for any of the content that I've created. Like there is keywords here and there sometimes, or ideas and whatnot, or it's a single sentence that I just talk for about a minute or 2 or 5 minutes or even half an hour or whatever, right? Whatever comes to my mind, I just talk about it. So it comes to my mind, I just say it, and that's why probably it's very, very chaotic for many people to understand, to grasp it, to understand like what is the idea, thought process, because it's in my head. Everyone's brain works differently, right? Anyways, so most of our brains work similar ways, but not exactly the same ways, right? Anyways, like some people learn visually and all that, like, and then some people learn through writing, through hearing and whatnot. Anyways, different. Again, I'm diverging. I diverge too much. So I have to listen to my video content and then understand what I said, and then convert that into Tamil and rehearse it, or probably put earphones and listen to that content in English and in real time try to tell it. But that's going to take some time to actually to even understand how to tell some words in English to Tamil, convert some words, translate some words from English to Tamil. And the ideas, ideologies, principles, whatever I'm talking about, it's going to be tricky to convert all of them from English to Tamil completely in Tamil. Maybe I might use some English words in between, or I'll have to learn some new words in Tamil and ensure that those are some words people do use on a day-to-day basis in Tamil Nadu. A lot of people don't understand all the different Tamil words, right? There are some complicated Tamil words, some Tamil words that have been used in like very old eras, some words that people don't know about at all, but those are the only words that can be used to define something, and there are no new words. People just use English instead. Say for something like, say, cycle, there is a word for cycle actually. It's called Midi Vandi, I think, which means Midi means stamp or step on it, and put your foot on it. Vandi means vehicle, so put your step on it and stamp it, and vehicle meaning kind of like cycle. There are words people don't know. You would rather just say cycle in a YouTube video if you want people to understand, right? So it's very tricky. I would love to do both versions, like wherein I talk in a language and slang that was used, say, years ago, thousands of years ago, and also in a language and slang that is being used today, along with a mix of English and all. And there are so many dialects in Tamil, and slangs and whatnot. People talk a bit differently in Tamil Nadu, in different places. India is a very versatile and like very diverse place. So Coimbatore people talk in some ways, some words and whatnot. Madras people, Chennai people talk in some ways, some words. So it's hard to actually communicate very well with a big group of people, especially in India, in a regional language. It can be tricky, and this is true even for English. Like again, words, meanings, to people understand some of the words that I use. I would love to use complex words, but then complexity doesn't help many people. Like they're like, what is this word? I need to go search the dictionary. People don't like it even when they're reading books, right? Sometimes they're like, why is this a new word? Like, why is there a new word? Same for even ebooks or even physical books. Ebooks have this feature of like you can select the word and understand the meaning, but not a lot of people are curious or interested or to learn new words, especially when they're trying to do something else, like trying to learn some other unknown, some idea, some way of living and whatnot, or some fiction and whatnot. They want to read the story and not learn some new words, right? Their goal might be different. Some people's goal might be like, I'll learn new words and I'll read the story. I'll learn some new words and I'll also read how to help myself, say through self-help books and whatnot. Anyway, so it's going to be hard to convert or translate my content into Tamil. But yeah, I could make content in Tamil in general directly without converting my existing content. That could be easy. That should be easy. I'm not yet doing that. I do have a Tamil channel which says KP Tamilan. KP is just my short name that I use these days. People have called me K and Karpanata and KP. I spoke about this in my other videos, I think, why I make content and about my content and all that. So KP Tamilan, and then there's one more, KP Talks Hindi, basically where I talk in Hindi. And then I could have said KP Talks Tamil also, or I just said KP Tamilan. Anyways, I think KP Talks Tamil wasn't available, the handle. Anyways, so these are some of the YouTube handles that I created but I haven't used yet. There's also KP Talks Tech, where I talk about tech. I still haven't spoken enough tech in it. There's a lot of content that I have in my mind, more like in my notes. I don't keep it in my mind at all. So yeah, I mean, so this person said make it in Tamil, and I answered them. I told them, dude, I don't have the time, unfortunately. Like I said, I just have the time to eat, sleep, work, and make YouTube videos as of now, fortunately, and also spend time with my family over the phone only, and socialize with some of the people who are willing to socialize with me. Yeah. What else? There was one of the comments that said, dude, your content is great. I was like, wow, awesome. This was for the hard work video, right? And I was like, wow, great. And they said, but people don't have enough attention span. I agree. Even I don't have, right? Okay. I'm also addicted to shorts and stuff. Yesterday I spent a lot of time looking at some of the shorts, and I realized why my roommate and many other people are actually addicted to Instagram reels and shorts. Very addictive, and I can understand, and I would totally not want to be addicted to that. But short form content, it's addictive, and for many reasons it's short form, and yeah, I mean, the content is great. It can be, what do you say, resourceful, useful. It can teach you stuff, or it can be funny and whatnot, or it can be just interesting, intriguing and whatnot. The thing is, I also create shorts at times, but only in my long form content there is like lot of stuff in it, like lot of substance in it than my short form content. One of the things is, like, I've realized is, like, long form content I can actually give a lot of anecdotes. I think I spoke about this in one of my videos. For example, I'm currently reading this book. I paused it for like weeks. I resumed again yesterday night. I finished like 3/4 of the book, or like no, half of the book, and I resumed it yesterday again. So this book, it's literally, you can actually summarize this in like, say, you can tell this book's goal in like, or the idea in like, say, a few sentences, right? But the thing is this: why is it such a big book? Is it to make more money? Maybe. Is it to actually show off or try to say the same thing? A lot of people tell in book reviews, and especially for self-help book reviews, right, that this person is saying the same thing again and again and again and again. It is true, right? Even in this book, they'll probably say the same thing again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Same thing, right? Just in different ways. They'll use different anecdotes. So there is good to it, there is bad to it. Some people don't like repetition, right? In different ways, like they don't like repetition, they don't like synonyms and whatnot. They don't like same idea repeated in different perspectives, different ways and whatnot, or anecdotes, different anecdotes. Just tell it once and leave me, man. That's all people are into. They don't want to waste time, or they're just bored and whatnot, right? But the thing is, this book, it gives a lot of anecdotes. It gives you examples that you can actually remember, because ideas are not that easy to remember if you think about it. Remembering ideas and whatnot is not easy, and you need to remember stuff to be able to follow them. Either remember them in your head, or create a poster and look at that poster every day to be able to follow that idea. But then there are so many ideas that you want to follow, like it's going to be hard, right? To be able to follow every other idea that you want to follow. You can't create a poster for every one of it and put it on your desk, every other idea. You can have some values, even values, you'll have to follow it, and then it will become a habit. Yes, that's why some people say follow one habit or two habits, like one habit at a time, and make it a habit, and then move on to another, so that it's easier to just cultivate more and more habits, and it will become a part of you, right? And this is true for even values. You keep adhering to one value, so much that it becomes a part of you, becomes second nature to you, that now you don't have to remember it. You don't need a poster or something to remember and whatnot, or some notes or some reminder in your calendar or whatever, right? So similar to that, if you can have examples and anecdotes and some emotion to those examples and anecdotes, and some interesting ideas in those anecdotes apart from the main idea, and interesting say perspectives, then that will help you remember stuff. So in long form content, I think you can actually put in those anecdotes, ideas, and talk more, give more context, give more points that you can actually use to remember the stuff, the idea, though the idea is very simple usually, right? So this person who commented mentioned that you have great points, but no one has much attention span in the modern era, or I think even in the old era they wouldn't have had that much attention span. I don't know how the brain works and all, or probably we have just been trained in this modern era to actually have a less attention span. We should probably train ourselves to have a better attention span to be able to read books and whatnot. There are so many people who can read novels very easily, very quickly in a few hours and whatnot. They pick it up and they can't put it down until they've finished it. They'll finish it off in like 3-4 hours and whatnot. So that's great actually. It's a great skill to have. It's a great it shows effort, and it's a great skill to have according to me. Yeah, I mean, I agree. People don't have enough attention span. If people have to see it, or people need to benefit from it, from the content that I have to say, it's better to edit it and whatnot. Edit out, say, the repeating stuff that I say, repetitive stuff, synonyms that I say, and whatnot, and the unnecessary diverging and whatnot, and just say the main content. Either I can edit, right, but I don't have the time to edit. Like I said, I don't have the time to even make videos. I'm bad as of now. I'm bad with time management skills, but I'm still trying to improve. And my time is also constrained in general. And so I, like I said, again, I'm repeating for the third or nth time that I just have time to eat, sleep, work, and make YouTube videos. It's like eat, sleep, repeat, and whatnot, which is not a great thing. I'm going to work on that also. I dropped the ball on my health and some stuff. With health, I'm just focusing a bit on food, but other than that, that's it, right? So I don't have the time to edit, and if I have to get better at this for short form content and like precise, concise content, then succinct content, right? That's what people want. Then I'll have to actually start preparing, and I don't have the time for that. You need time to prepare, think about what to say, what to not say, and have a script ready, rehearse it, or like currently I have my notes app on my other tab, on my screen. Fortunately, I have a phone that can show two apps on one screen, and show me the content of both apps, so that I can actually read through and understand that, though I don't use two screens usually, but if I need to actually talk about some stuff that I might forget and whatnot, it's going to be a long video then, and or I wrote about it long ago that I won't remember it now, and I need to ensure that I've covered all the points or all the keywords and all the ideas. Then I write it down. For example, I did one video on addiction. I just used my notes. So I'll have to prepare, right? I'll have to prepare and understand what I want to talk about, and ensure that I talk very succinctly. It requires some amount of preparation, some amount of mindfulness, and control. I never control myself. I'm like unleashed. I just unleash myself. I'm never on a leash. I'm not on a leash. So I just keep going on and on and on and on. Somehow I take pride in actually being able to talk for a lot of time and whatnot, which also contributes to long content form like this one, which is actually pretty long. So yeah, I mean, I get it that long form content people can't take it. It's fine. I'll just put the content out there. Maybe in the future I will get editors. One of the ideas is like I was actually trying to get some editors, content creators who will actually take my ideas or take my content and create it in different forms, say text content, text form, audio form, short video forms. For example, people have long form content and then cut it into short videos, like say shorts, reels and whatnot, and then put that up. say small parts, like say within a few seconds or within a minute and whatnot, and then link to the main big video and whatnot. So but I don't have the time to do that, so I would rather just get some, say, interns, right? People exploit interns and all, but my idea was like, see, if you need a chance, if you want a chance to actually work on some content, some good content, I'll just say it myself, certified myself that it's good. Anyways, so good content, or if you just want a chance to actually work on content, create content, edit content, and whatnot in different forms, then I have some content, and I have some ideas, is what I said on LinkedIn. No one reached out to me, or so I think. I don't remember getting any comments. I have checked out my notifications even recently. I don't think I got any comments on my posts recently. So yeah, I mean, if because I don't have money to pay to these people, right? So I can only give them a chance or give them an opportunity to actually work on content if they want to work on it. But they would rather probably get paid, right, by people who are earning a lot of money on YouTube or different platforms, and they're making courses and stuff like that, or they're doing they're influencing things. They're influencers, influencing some community, finance community, beauty products community, like cosmetic products community and whatnot, or health products community and whatnot. They would rather just work with companies and people who do that, who create content and whatnot, be editors, content creators, shoot videos, do editing, do short form content, do graphics and whatnot, do content copywriting. I think that's what it's called. I don't know why it's called copywriting. Basically, type out stuff, write stuff, and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, I don't have people, and I don't have the time for it myself, right? I don't have time, and I don't have money to pay to people to do it for me. And even if I have the money, I doubt people will come and like work for me. I'll probably have to pay them a lot to actually do this kind of stuff, because they might just not be interested in watching my videos. Who knows? So yeah, that's that. So I really can't do editing or have people do editing, or do prep work and whatnot, and or put myself on a leash to make concise content or short form content. So that's that. So what else? And yeah, I spoke about me not having time to look at comments, even if it's very less. It's going to be harder if it gets more. So it's going to be very, very hard. And yeah, like pros, cons being like reading comments. Pros, great feedback. I can use it to probably improve my content if I want to really focus on that. Cons, it can drain my energy. Like, do I want to put myself in that struggling situation and ensure that it doesn't drain my energy, and I still take that criticism, insults, in case there are any, and then convert that into motivation? Depends. I don't know if I'll be strong all the time. And I spoke about editing content. I'm just looking at if I missed anything. So why I can't edit my content. I don't spend time editing content and all that, and I'm okay with it for now. And I just want to make content, yeah, and I don't have the time, energy, or effort to edit it. And yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I had one more stuff. I forgot though. What was it? It was about content editing and stuff. Oh yeah. So content editing, or the form of content, like say video form, or people not understanding the content. I'll give you one example, right? There is this content creator, popular guy, popular person. His name is I think Pattabi Raman. Pattu is what people call him, or he calls himself, or his friends call him. So he is actually a popular person in the finance community. A lot of people know him, and he talks about finance. He talks about mutual funds, and I think he talks about stocks also. I don't know. So usually I've seen him talk about mutual funds and investing and all that. And his website is called I think Free Fincal, yeah. Free Fincal. So it's free. Usually most of the content is free. Some of them is paid. Some of the data is paid. He creates a lot of data, analyzed, researched data around mutual funds and whatnot, how they perform, or error rates and whatnot in their performance, or like say index mutual funds, how they perform and whatnot. This might look like I'm actually advertising for him. I don't care. I'm not, but he apparently is good. He's very good apparently, and his community is really good. I know that for sure. And so this guy is really good at earning money. He has actually also earned a lot of people's respect and views, and he has won a lot of hearts. He talks about in one of his blog posts. He also makes videos. He has made some video courses and all, but a lot of it is blog posts, so written form. He talks about how he's fortunate to have had a lot of his subscribers, or content subscribers, his newsletter subscribers. He's fortunate to have had content subscribers who can understand his content, because he feels that not everyone can understand his content, which makes sense, right? Like, people think in different ways, people talk, communicate in different ways. It's hard to actually communicate and make your point, get your point across, make your point clear to everyone, right? Everyone in the world, at least, especially. Like, to make that your audience larger and larger, and to ensure that your audience understands what you're saying, it's going to be hard, especially when the audience is very diverse. The audience is not some robot, like the same robot, like bigger audience and whatnot. Audience is actually people, and everyone's brain, though they are similar, everyone's biological body, it's all similar, but there are a lot of differences. There is a lot of uniqueness. We have genes and whatnot. We have a lot of uniqueness in us, right? So though similar, we are all also unique in many ways, different ways, and our minds sometimes think differently. We need different kinds of context, and our upbringing and whatnot, our life experiences are different. What we know, what we don't know is different and whatnot, right? So he says how he can actually communicate with a lot of people, and it's actually he's very privileged and fortunate to have had newsletter subscribers who can understand his content, because according to him, not everyone can understand his content. So according to me, similar to that, not everyone can consume my content. I thought no one can consume my content, but I can see some people consuming my content. But I can understand that they can't, because like, you make 1 hour videos, 45 minutes videos, 30 minutes videos, like in a 24-hour day, how can you spend 1 hour? It's like looking at half a film, or in a Hollywood, looking at a film. In Hollywood films, it's like the movies are 1 hour, 1.5 hours, or 2 hours. In Indian films, it's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, right? So people can't spend that much time, and I can understand that it takes a lot of time to consume content, especially long form content can be pretty draining, right? I would look for tools to cut short or edit long form content. As of now, I don't have any, so I'm just gonna simply put out content for now. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard for people to understand me, what I think, how I think, and whatnot, and the way I think, and my ideologies, my thought process, my ideas in general, and why I think what I think, my values and whatnot, and my language, my communication skills and whatnot. It may not work well with all people, many people, and all that. I will try to see what I can do, and with the example that I gave, Mr. Patabi Rab, if I got the name right, from Free Twinkle, says how I think he also mentions how he cannot write in a way that everyone can understand, like not as a what's that called? I forgot the term. Not like some problem, or like not like some shortcoming, but more like it's hard, and also he doesn't have the time. I think he mentions something like that. I forgot though. I'll probably talk about that in a separate video. So many times I keep saying I'll talk about that in a separate video. I keep getting ideas. So yeah, like he talks about how he can't spend time to just create content in such a way that everyone can understand it, or like more people can understand it. He just creates content, and I think he doesn't spend time on like modifying it too much and all that stuff. Like, I don't know how he creates it though, how much time he spends on editing, thinking, prepping and whatnot. I'm sure, or I'm guessing, that he's very meticulous and he's really good and methodic in what he does, methodical and all that. Or his thought processes, which requires him to have less methodical ways and process in his writing. He just has to just think and just write it down, because his ideas and thought process is very or thought processes are very clear that he just has to pen it down, put it down on paper or put it down on his blog, and that's all. Right. So but yeah, I mean, I think this is a prominent problem, like content creators and communication and like people understanding the content and being okay with the content form and the content length, right? I agree that I wouldn't read or watch a 1 hour video and all. Like even TEDx talks, sometimes I've noticed that if it's a 11-minute or 20-minute video, I'm like, anything about 10 minutes, sometimes I wonder maybe I'll watch it later. And like this, I just look at names of videos, but I never watch them because I don't have the time. It's like I wonder how people watch reality shows which go on for hours and hours and hours, and you basically go through every other situation, almost every other situation in that reality show, basically looking at someone else's life and just sitting around and looking at someone else's life. And it's very weird, especially say reality shows like all this adventurous reality shows where people do adventures, or reality shows like say Big Boss in India, wherein people stay in a house, closed house, where they can't get out of the house with other people, and then 24/7 they are monitored. Imagine if the show producers and the show owners put out the 24/7 video content out there, and this show runs for say 100 days. Can you actually spend 100 days or even say 50 days? Let's say you watch the video in 2x speed all the time, right? Can you and in most of the time they'll be sleeping, but a lot of the people don't even sleep in those reality shows. They sit around and talk sometimes, or a lot of times, and whatnot. So can you watch that content, 24/7 content, 100 days content for 50 days with 2x speed? Can you spend 50 days? And you also have to eat, sleep, work probably, and if you don't have work, like you don't have to work or you don't have work, great. Like you still have to eat, sleep to have a sustainable life, and probably move around a bit to be healthy. So can you actually spend 50 days to watch all of that content? I doubt it. It's going to be really hard, right? It's going to be boring also. So similar to that, you can't watch all of the stuff that people have to say, all of the stuff that I've recorded, let's say for 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. I will see how I can actually convert this content into say text. I could write text actually, but text I actually think a lot, edit a lot and whatnot. I don't just simply hit publish. And with talking, it's just tell the words and I'm done. I have to hit the record button and tell the words, record, and then publish, and I'm done, right? With typing, I have to type. It takes time to actually convert my ideas into words and type it out. It's easier to talk it out for some reason for me. When I type it out, I think a lot. I think about and when I type it out, I usually use editors of the blogging platform and whatnot, and they show errors in spellings, they show errors or issues in sentences, grammatical issues and whatnot. I keep fixing them and whatnot. I try to make sections, I try to put it in a proper structure and whatnot, especially say tech content. Live content, I usually just keep typing. But yeah, I mean, also if I repeat in live blog and all, I will realize it because I'm typing it out. I can clearly see it. And I can also do a find, I can do a search on the page and see that I've actually repeated the same content, same text, same phrase or same word again and again and again, same idea and all that. So it's tricky, but I think people can actually use written form very easily, because written form is very easy to process. You can convert a written form into audio by using readers and whatnot, screen readers and whatnot. There are so many tools out there, and you can use written form to search for content. You can use written form content to actually summarize content very easily. You can give it to an AI and ask it to summarize. But the thing about summarizing is this, right? There is loss of data usually. Let's say I take this book and this is actually some 400-500 page book, right? And it has a lot of examples and anecdotes. And you try to summarize it in a few words, you will lose a lot of information. So it's basically this concept in software wherein you try to compress data. There are two types of compression in software. This goes a bit technical, wherein they talk about lossless compression wherein you don't lose data, and then lossy compression where you lose data. This is similar to how you send images on WhatsApp. Previously, it used to send a bit less, clarity, less resolution photos, because they will compress it, make it smaller size. Let's say you have a 1 MB photo, they'll make it 1/10 of the size or half the size of whatever. And when you make it half the size, it will lose some of its clarity and its resolution usually. And when you zoom it, you will be able to notice pixels. But you can also compress images or content and data in such a way that even if the size becomes small from 1 MB to half the MB and like half the size, even then, even if you zoom, the content will be clear and similar to what you had, not even similar, same as what you had done, like say on 1 MB photo, the bigger size photo when you zoom. So that is possible to some extent, but not always, right? If you want to summarize to a very, very small format, it's going to be really hard, like very, very small size. This 500 page book, you can probably convert it into a 450, 475 page book without losing much of its content. Almost as same as like the content itself. I need to drink water. But if you make it into like some 300 page, it'll lose some more of its content. If you make it into 10 page, it'll lose a lot of its content, right? Like 10 page, the same size, by the way. Don't think 10 page very big pages and like big size pages, but the same size page. Let's say this is the size of the book and the size of the page is the same. You make it 10 pages, it's going to be like, and if you make that whole book, 500 page book, into 10 sentences, and each sentence containing just some 10 words, then you're going to lose a lot of data, a lot of content on that book. You should be able to agree to the fact that you're going to lose that data and be okay with it. A lot of people are okay with it because they think that they don't have the time, energy, effort to actually read big books. They use different services and that use AI, artificial intelligence, and stuff like that, or they use real people to actually summarize books with context, and they also summarize books not with just text. They use images. Even if the book does not have images, they use images and visuals to help you remember the content and whatnot, cartoons and whatnot, or videos, visuals and whatnot, and not just images. So understand that short form content can be tricky, and like making a content short means losing some of the data. Like now, if I make the content short, I choose which data to cut out. If you cut short that content, you choose which content to cut out. So I could cut out some content that I think is unimportant, but then you might consider it important, and I might not cut out some content which I think is important, which you might consider as unimportant. So it's important to understand that there can be subjective differences. It's very tricky problem. I research problems like this. But yeah, I mean, it's tricky stuff. Content creation and short form content and consuming content. It's really hard to consume all the content in the world. But people love to consume in general. I would say produce also, apart from consuming. I'll create a video on that also. Anyway, so that's all I had for this video. I keep saying that's all. I just made like some 1 hour 13 minutes video. Anyways, that's all I had for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.